This is the Google TV streamer, and it's the replacement to the Chromecast with Google TV. It's coming sometime soon, and it could be a very different device that we're used to, so let's dive into it. But first, how about you subscribe to the channel for more exclusive content just like this? We're always trying to be at the forefront of all things Google, and this is a great example. Hit the join button if you want to become part of an exclusive club, a club that gets digital content and assets every single month without fail. I think for this package, it's a great price, and our members seem to think so as well. So back in April, we revealed that Google was working on a sequel to the 4K Chromecast with Google TV, a device that I literally re-reviewed just recently, as I personally think it's aged far better than it ever ought to, given the limited internals. Well, after that initial report, we can now officially and exclusively reveal that the upcoming device will be called the Google TV Streamer. Google is going to ditch the compact dongle form factor that plugs directly into the back of your TV and remains out of sight for a brand new form factor. So as you can see from these images shared directly with 95 Google, Google is aiming for a set-top or tabletop design that has a slanted, pill-shaped surface. It's rather wide compared to other streaming boxes, and it's unclear if it serves any extra functional purpose. For example, I must admit, this will be great for ultra-wideband powered tap-to-cast, as that was announced for the Pixel tablet and implemented early this year. I would love it if it could even work as a charging pad for your accessories, although I know that is a bit of a stretch. A bit like a mini Pixel stand, but there is no word on or even the potential information suggests that this is going to be the case at this stage. You can also see from the pill-shaped base that the entire thing looks vaguely like a squashed or flattened Pixel tablet charger speaking dock. It looks like it takes up the same sort of space on a surface as well. We've only seen this in a white colourway so far. While we don't know if more colours are coming, at least at this stage, it could have extra options like the previous generation, and it would make more sense given that it will be in view on a counter or surface underneath your TV. I'm interested if there's some sort of passive cooling here as well, as I do use the Nvidia Shield TV box behind my TV set, despite this being a wall-mounted TV set, and it does get pretty hot after a few hours of usage. So all of these questions we're hoping to get answered when this does eventually release. There are two cables that come with this, presumably a power and HDMI out, that protrude out from the back. Overall, it could have a minimal height or presence underneath your television. We haven't seen around the back of the device, so it's not clear if there are other ports like USB-A or even USB-C connections. As we know, the Chromecast with Google TV currently ships with just one USB-C port, but it does support expansion with selected docks and USB hubs. Enhanced storage on this device is going to be a must as well, as that's one of the biggest complaints levelled at the previous gen. We don't know if this device will support higher resolutions as well this time around. 8K TVs are not that common, and 8K content does actually put quite a tax on your data connections, but 4K 120Hz video out would be a huge upgrade. There's almost no doubt that the AV1 streaming codec will be supported here as well. I don't think that's unfair to speculate at this point, as it has been supported on the HD Chromecast since 2022. We're also hoping for lots of upgrades in the streaming system after what has genuinely been 4 years of practically zero changes on the original Google TV dongle. I have to say the design reminds me of the Nvidia Shield TV, but designed by Google with that soft wedge shape and that flat base design. It definitely fits in with the rest of the ecosystem that Google has been building over the last few years. I think here's the good thing though. Given this larger form factor, it does mean that hopefully there will be more under the hood power available, and this in turn could make this the perfect base for a Google TV powered smart home entertainment system. The current gen Chromecast still does manage to handle a lot of what you'll do fairly well, but it does leave a lot to be desired when it comes to raw run and the power and expansion that you have available at your fingertips. So that's the actual device itself, but the good news is there is an updated but similar shaped remote going to be available. It is longer according to what we can tell, but after the actual design there's a D-pad, you have the back and home buttons on this first row. What's interesting is that the voice input key is no longer Google Assistant branded. A generic microphone is being used here instead. This might make it clearer to people that voice controls are available, but maybe this means we'll get some sort of Gemini integration here for the first time. It does also have a raised bump since the splash of colour on this version of the remote is used for the home key rather than the assistant key on current gen hardware. Another interesting change to the remote is that the volume rocker has been moved to the face of the remote instead of being on that right edge. The mute button is still here if you want to cut audio instantly. There are also shortcut buttons for YouTube and Netflix, they're returning. Can't say I'm a huge fan of these personally. There is also a power and a magic or star shortcut to round things out. I believe this is a similar base layout to the Apple TV streaming remote, which isn't that bad from what I can tell. If you're wondering what the magic button does, well, this just lets you set custom shortcuts for apps or change the display input like you can already do on the Chromecast with Google TV. It is something that is already live on the Walmart On Pro streamer, which is currently probably the best value device out there. So it's not technically new, but not many streaming systems actually have this button available just yet. So with this drastically different design, we're also getting that brand new name. The Google TV streamer keeps that Google TV branding, but drops Chromecast in a surprising turn for that legacy moniker. I personally can't see the Google TV interface also getting any sort of major overhaul, but will be more of the same. Probably we'll get some more integration with voice controls potentially, and hopefully we'll see something, or at least see how Gemini is going to be integrated here as well. And overall, I just think if they put extra hardware in, it's going to be faster and more consistent. As I say, I really want to see smoother performance and a support for higher refresh rate TVs, even refresh rate monitors if you do put it on a monitor. A lot of sets out there now are 120Hz compatible, and most Android phones are also way above 60Hz today, so it's becoming more commonplace. I'd really like to see Google do that. It would be great for that consistency, and great just for Google to improve the smoothness and improve the performance overall. So what does this mean for the current Chromecast lineup though? Well, it remains to be seen whether the company will keep selling the Chromecast with Google TV, the HD version that is, but it does follow Google Cast replacing the Chromecast built-in branding that we saw earlier this year. I could definitely see Google keeping that HD Chromecast around as a super cheap sub $30 entry-level smart TV streaming dongle. It's fine for what it is, and we see Amazon doing similar things with their Fire Stick lineup, and it's a little bit convoluted because they have a high-end version that looks like a cube, and then there's several dongles at various price points and with various features baked in. That said, we don't yet know the pricing for the Google TV streamer yet, so we don't know where they're going to place this in terms of the market. It looks like it could be a more expensive upgrade over the Chromecast TV 4K, but it does look like an important upgrade nonetheless. I want to ask you though, is this the big upgrade that we've been waiting for? I'm excited to see what happens, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. There's been no word given on the actual release date, but you would sort of expect to see the Google TV streamer launch alongside the Pixel 9 series at Made by Google, which is coming up on August 13th, and we will be there in person. This might not seem like a big deal, but the Chromecast has actually been one of Google's most successful hardware products to date, and a new model could be another big play to take control of your living room. I want to ask you though, what do you think of the new design and that new name? Let us know in the comment sections below, and thank you again to our legendary channel members on screen now. All that's left for me to say is thanks for watching, and I will speak to you later.